this season, the Denver Broncos exceeded everyone's expectations. I mean, at the start of the year, I don't think anyone really thought that this team was going to make the playoffs. But at this point, I feel like they're only a few pieces away from being a legit contender. So today, I'm going to be giving myself 4 seasons to rebuild the Denver Broncos, and the goal is to win them a Super Bowl. But I mean, obviously, to start things off, this team definitely isn't in a bad situation. I feel like Bo Nix is definitely our QB of the future. And on the other hand, the Broncos do also have some really solid weapons on the defense. I mean, with the roster that we have right now, I feel like making the playoffs is honestly kind of 50-50. So hopefully we can set the tone against the Seahawks in week 1. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, I thought this game was gonna come right down to the wire, but Seattle is blowing us out right now. It is 27-3. So if this is how we're gonna start our season, I don't know if we're gonna make the playoffs. I mean, it's only week 1, so I wouldn't say we need to worry too much, but this is definitely not the start to the season that I was looking for. That should be a first down. He's gonna bring it in. I mean, technically, this game isn't over yet, so I am still trying to score a touchdown here, but realistically, I mean, if we can somehow pull off this comeback, then this comeback would probably be up there with Tom Brady's comeback against the Falcons in the Super Bowl. I'd probably have to throw this away. That's going to bring up a 4th down. I was really hoping that somebody would get open for me, but if we can't pick up the first down here, I feel like that will pretty much guarantee us a loss. It looks like we are going to keep the drive alive, though, so this game's still technically not over. I really want to try and go for Sutton here, but I honestly feel like he's going to be locked up on this route, so I might end up going back to Trotman again. Actually, we should have that. Sutton's gonna be there. So 7 yards to go, and we will finally have our first touchdown of the game, which honestly might not be much to celebrate about because we are in the 4th quarter, and all we've done up to this point is put a field goal on the board. Obviously, we were in there, though, so that is gonna be our first touchdown of the game. I'm gonna go for the 2-point conversion to attempt to make things a little bit better, and it's gonna be dropped. So we're gonna be down by 18 points still. And obviously, after that, we did not pull off an impressive comeback. So we're going to start the season off with a pretty tough loss. I mean, again, it's only week 1, so we definitely still have a chance to make the playoffs. But after that game, I definitely have my doubts. And it looks like the Broncos did end up having a pretty rough season. I mean, we're going to go 8-9, which is not enough to make the playoffs. It could have been a lot worse, though. I mean, after that first game, I was starting to think that we were going to be like a 5 or 6 win team. But to end off year number 1, it looks like Patrick Mahomes is going to be winning MVP. And for the 2nd season in a row, it looks like the Chiefs are going to beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. But that's going to bring us to the first off season of this video. And it looks like we did have a pretty solid free agency. Because as you can see, I was able to bring in Khalil Mack, Bobby Wagner, and Jimmy Ward for the defense. But that's going to bring us to the draft. And as you're about to see, we got some really good pickups. Because in the first round, I was able to get Abdul Carter, who's potentially the next Micah Parsons. He's going to be an 81 overall to start things off. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but we did actually lose Williams in the offseason. So I drafted Travion Henderson, who's going to be a 77 overall to start things off. And after all of the upgrades in the offseason, it looks like Denver was barely able to sneak into the playoffs with a 10-7 record. But unfortunately, to start things off, we have to play the Ravens in Baltimore. So if we can get the job done in this one, that's going to be a pretty big upset win for Denver. But I mean, I feel like we do definitely have the pieces to do it. Abdul Carter went all the way up to an 88 overall in his first season. So it's looking like he is well on his way to becoming the next Micah Parsons. And Henderson's also gone up to an 81 overall, which isn't anything too crazy, but we do have a really solid running back on our team now. I mean, Williams was solid too, but obviously we weren't able to keep him. I'm going to try and go for Sutton this time though. Oh, I gotta keep this on the ground. If I waited, I could have definitely gone for him there, but I'm already out. They might have moved off of him a bit because I started to run the ball, but either way, he was wide open when I was gone. We got him open this time, though, so that's gonna be... Oh, never mind, that's Mims. So I guess Mims is gonna bring it to the 3-yard line. I let the clock run all the way down to, like, 15 seconds, too, so hopefully we can get in for a last-second touchdown. That was a terrible pass. So now we only have 10 seconds to get in the end zone here, and it's also 3rd and 1, so if I can't get 1 yard, I'm gonna get held to a field goal, and it looks like... Oh! Oh, please tell me that flag is on Baltimore. It looks like it's going to be pass interference. So we are going to catch a break because that's going to give us a fresh set of downs. But still, we only have 5 seconds here. But we only need 1 yard, which is the thing. So I'm hoping that somebody gets open, and it looks like we're going to have the tight end. So that touchdown is actually going to put us up ahead right before halftime. So for the moment, we have the lead. We're coming back out here in the fourth quarter, though, and it looks like things are getting interesting because somehow our defense has held Lamar to 7 points up to now. So we're still up by 6 because that last touchdown, somehow we found a way to miss the PAT attempt. But anyways, that's a big play. There's only 3 minutes left in this game, though. So if we can get a stop here, that honestly might be enough to put this thing away, which would be pretty big for Denver right now. We got to stop Henry. He's going to get a solid gain. I mean, Henry has got to be the most difficult player in the NFL to take down. So I'm really hoping that he doesn't get the ball a whole lot here, but I feel like they're just going to keep handing it off to him. I guess it doesn't really matter because Lamar Jackson's kind of cooking this defense right now either way. We're going to get a sack, though, which is pretty big. I mean, on the bright side, that does still bring up a third down, but now they only need 7 yards. And at this point, obviously, it's 4 down territory. So he has 2 attempts to get 7 yards, which I honestly don't like my odds. And it looks like that's another solid gain too, but it does bring up a 4th down. So if we can stop the Ravens one more time, that might be enough to send us to the divisional round. But is he just going to keep this on the ground with Henry? We got him. And after that, we were able to run the clock out. So we are going to take down the Ravens in the wild card round for our first playoff win of the video. I mean, that was a massive win for this team, but now we have to go to Kansas City. And I was hoping that we could go on a miracle run and beat KC and Baltimore back to back, but it looks like our luck is starting to run out because we are losing 17-3 right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, this game's not over yet, but if we don't score a touchdown here, it's going to be pretty difficult on us. So this is kind of a must-score drive right now. Oh, dude, do we have that? We might have Sutton. That's going to be pass interference. So that's going to bring the ball all the way to the 44-yard line. So we're getting close to being in field goal position at the very least. I want to try and go for the tight end here. Actually, we have Mims open. I mean, I will happily take that because that was an easy look. I don't even know who I want to go for here. Oh, I might have to run. I might have to keep this on the ground. It looks like we have some space, though. That's a huge pickup from Nix. I feel like people honestly forget that Bo Nix has legs on him. I mean, if that guy needs to run, he can definitely go on the run, and it looks like Henderson's in for the touchdown as well. So that is going to put us right back in this game, but now we need our defense to get a stop, but they were unfortunately not able to do that. So it looks like our playoff run is going to come to an end in Kansas City. I mean, it is what it is though, man. I didn't think that team was going to win the Super Bowl to begin with, so I'm just happy that we made it out of the first round because I honestly thought that we were going to lose to Baltimore. But to end off year number 2, it looks like Patrick Mahomes is going to be winning MVP. And in the Super Bowl, it looks like the Eagles ended up beating Buffalo, but that's going to bring us to another offseason. And I didn't do anything too crazy in free agency, but I was able to bring in DJ Reader and Tyler Higbee. And Sutton and Mims have been pretty solid throughout this whole video, but if we want to win the Super Bowl, we need to find a true wide receiver 1. And I think we found him because for a 2nd round pick, 2 3rd-round picks, and a 4th round pick, I was able to trade for T. Higgins. And another position I wanted to upgrade was safety. I mean, this one was pretty expensive, but for a 1st round pick, I was able to get Brisker and a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round pick for next season. So as you can see, heading into year number 3, I mean, I feel like this offense is looking pretty solid right now. On the defensive side of things, though, I would say this is probably a top 5 defense in the NFL right now. And in year number 3, I was not expecting us to be this good, but it looks like the Broncos are going to go 14-3 to win the division, and we got the number 1 seed. And to start off the playoffs, it looks like we're going to be taking on the Raiders. And I got to give credit to Las Vegas, man. They have been playing really well in this game. I mean, they're up 17-10 with 2 minutes left in this game. So if we can't get a stop here, we are definitely going to be in trouble. But I feel like our defense has been playing pretty well up to this point. So we just got to stop the run 2 more times, and hopefully that will be enough to send this game to OT. I got to use a timeout here, though, because obviously they got the 1st down, and they're basically in field goal position as well. So things are really starting to slip away from this team right now. We're going to get the stop right here. I'll let the clock run after that, though, because I want to use our timeout on the final down so that they can't, like, run it down even more since they'll be punting it. Oh, he's throwing this this too. Hold on. We might be able to take him out of range. He got the ball off. So they are still going to be in field goal range. If we got the sack, that would have been awesome. But either way, if we can stop this, which is doable. I mean, this is a pretty long field goal from here, and it looks like it is no good. So now we have 1 minute, and we also still have a timeout left to try and score a touchdown to tie things up. Or we can be ballsy and go for the 2-point conversion, but I got to get in the end zone before I even think about that. I'm going to try and go for Sutton this time, who seems to be wide open. That's going to be a huge play. So that's going to bring it all the way to the 20-yard line. I'm really hoping that Higgins can get open here, but it looks like keeping it on the ground is our best option. He's going to fumble it, and it looks like the Raiders got the ball. That's how our season's going to end. I mean, that has got to be the worst way to wrap things up. I could have slid, but I was determined to get the first down. I mean, I was hoping for a lot more out of this team this season, but the Raiders caught us off guard. So now we only have one more season to get the job done. If we can't win the Super Bowl next season, though, I am definitely going to look back on that loss because, I mean, we had the 1 seed and we were a first-round exit. That definitely hurts. But anyways, to end off year number 3, Patrick Mahomes is going to be winning another MVP. And in the Super Bowl, it looks like the Eagles ended up beating Kansas City just like this year. But that's going to bring us to the final offseason of this video. And I got to load this team up as much as I possibly can since we only have one more season to try and get the job done. And in free agency, I was able to bring in Ronnie Stanley for the O-line. And after that, I decided to go out and upgrade the defense as much as I can because defense wins championships. And it was pretty expensive because it cost me a first-round pick. But we're going to bring in J.C. Horn, who's a 90 overall right now. And we also need a left guard. So I sent a 2nd and 3rd round pick to the Bengals for Booker. So as you can see, heading into our final season, I mean, with this offense, we are definitely capable of getting the job done. And on the other hand, I mean, this is definitely one of the best defenses in the NFL right now. And this was a really weird season because somehow Kansas City missed the playoffs, but we're going to win the division with a 12-5 record. And to start things off, we have to play the Miami Dolphins. And so far, this playoff game has gone a lot better than our last playoff game because we're up 14-3 right now, but the Dolphins are kind of threatening to score here. I think I just left a man wide open. We're going to knock it away, though. That was so close to being a massive pickup, but that is going to bring up a 3rd down since he couldn't hold on to it, and we just missed the sack, and no one's going to catch him. I cannot believe we just allowed that. That was brutal defense from the Broncos, man. That should have been an easy stop right there. But since we couldn't catch Tua, now he's in the red zone, and it looks like that's going to be a solid gain from Waddle. I mean, they're like 3 yards away from scoring a touchdown now. So things just seem to be getting even more difficult for the Dolphins, and I left him wide open. That's on me. And if we can't get in the end zone here, we are going to have a pretty big problem on our hands. So I feel like this is kind of a must-score drive for Denver right now. I'm going to try and run a bit of a deeper route right here, though. I mean, oh, we might have Higgins. We're going to get sacked, though. That's going to be a big loss. I was trying to go for Higgins there, but now it's 3rd and 14, so this is going to be pretty difficult to pick up. But we're going to throw an interception, too. We are really throwing this game away right now. That's going to be a pick 6 from Miami. I mean, things just keep getting worse and worse for the Broncos right now. I mean, that was just a terrible decision to put that in the air, but thankfully we did score after that. So we're up 21-18, and as long as I don't throw any more interceptions, we are in a really good position to win this thing. I just got to run the clock out at this point. I mean, that's going to bring Miami down to their final timeout. So if we can get a first down here, this game is going to be over, and it looks like we're going to have T. Higgins. He's just short, though. And after that, they did actually get a stop. So it's 3rd and 1 right now, but as long as we don't get caught, we're gonna have the first down. So that will put this game away. I gotta say though, I mean, we're honestly pretty lucky to sneak out of this game alive because we definitely kind of dug ourselves a hole with that pick 6. But either way, that's another big playoff win for the Broncos, which is gonna send us to the divisional round where we have to play the Indianapolis Colts. And so far, this game has been absolutely crazy. We are tied up at 21 with 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. And in case you haven't noticed, which you probably probably can't because you can't see where the end zone is with all of the snow. We were basically in our end zone for that play. We were at the 3-yard line, but that run is going to make things a little bit better because now we're at the 7. We're not going to get a block though, so that will bring up a 3rd down. I'm just going to try and go for Higgins here, and hopefully he can get this, because if we have to punt it from our own end zone, we are definitely going to have an issue. But Higgins is going to come in with the ball, and after that, I just let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning. So if we do end up scoring a touchdown or even a field goal, I want that to be like a last-second thing. I'm just going to keep this with Nix. It looks like he does have the first. I'm going to try and run this route right here. I got to be careful because this is the route I ran when I threw that pick 6 against the Dolphins, but this time it's going to work. We are still just short of the first down, but only by a couple of inches. So I'm going to keep this on the ground, which might not be the best move because we are slowly running out of time. I mean, now there's only 30 seconds left in this game, but the thing is, I do still have all 3 timeouts to use. So I'm going to start using that now. If we... Oh, hold on. That might be like a touchdown right there. If Higgins can come in, let's go. That's why I got Higgins, man. I mean, if we need him to make a crazy catch, he will, as you just saw. But I'm going to keep it on the ground this time because there's only 15 seconds left in the game. It looks like Henderson's going to bring it all the way to the 2, though. I mean, I was hoping he would get in for the touchdown there, but either way, I just let the clock run all the way down to 2 seconds. And if we miss this, that is going to be pretty bad, but this is pretty much a guarantee from the 2-yard line. So that's going to send us to the AFC Championship game. So we are just 1 win away now from finally heading to the Super Bowl. We definitely have a challenge on our hands though, because in the AFC Championship game, we have to play the Baltimore Ravens. And if you guys remember, we actually beat Baltimore for our first playoff win of the video. So hopefully we can get the job done again, but it looks like this defense is still absolutely loaded. I mean, they really haven't lost any key players. We're gonna have a first down right here though. I thought Sutton was gonna get taken down, but he kind of just kept going, so that will bring it all the way to the 18, and we are losing 21-16 right now. So this is a really important drive for the Broncos. That's a sack, and Baltimore got another stop after that too. So now it's 3rd and 14. If we can't get this, I mean, I will take the field goal because I just need to make sure that we get something here. We're gonna have the touchdown though because nobody's on Higgins. So just like that, we are gonna have the lead back again. I'm going for the 2-point conversion here though, because if this is good, that will put us up by 3 points. So hopefully somebody can get open here, and it looks like, oh my god, that was a terrible pass. We had him too. On the bright side for us though, I mean, after that, our defense got a huge stop and we were able to get the ball all the way down to the 9-yard line. So I'm gonna hopefully get the first down here. It looks like we've got it. I was hoping that would bring us to the 2-minute warning, but it looks like Baltimore's using their timeouts now. So I'm gonna go for one more run, which I'm kind of regretting. Never mind, we're gonna have the touchdown. I thought we were gonna get stopped there, but that is gonna make it an 8-point game. But if you thought Lamar Jackson was gonna go out that easily, you are funny, bro. I mean, he's only got 40 seconds to try and score a touchdown, but he is definitely in scoring position right now. So we got to make sure that everybody's locked up. That is a really bad start. Andrews is gone. The clock ran all the way down to 16 seconds after that though. So Lamar Jackson's only gonna have time for maybe 2 more plays. That was an absolute dot. So it looks like he's going to have Zay in the corner for the touchdown, but that is going to bring up what might be the biggest play that we have had all season up to this point, because to tie it up, he's going to need to get the 2-point conversion to work, and he's in. I thought we were going to stop him for a second. I mean, we only have 9 seconds to try and score now, but I'm going to go for a shot with Higgins because sometimes we get lucky. He might bring this in. Actually, he's going to have it. Oh, get going, get going. That's going to be a walk-off touchdown. I actually thought there was no way that that was going to work out. I was thinking about going out of bounds because I thought we might get caught last second, but it was too late when I looked down on the clock. So I am really happy that he brought it all the way to the house for a touchdown. So, I mean, that is definitely one hell of a way to send your team to the Super Bowl. So now we just need to get one more dub. I mean, I know I already said this, but that is why I got T. Higgins, bro. He just made the biggest play of the season for this team. But to end off the final season of the video, it looks like Jalen Hurts is going to be winning MVP, and this is definitely a team I was not expecting to see. But in the Super Bowl, we're going to be taking on the Arizona Cardinals, and it looks like our season is going to come down to this. We are down 10-7 with 1 minute and 24 seconds left on the clock. T. Higgins is going to be there for another big play. We got to use him as much as we can on this drive, because if someone's going to walk it off for us, it is probably going to be that guy. That's another first down from Higgins. I mean, that clock is running out of time fast, but we do still have 2 timeouts if I need to use them. So I'm going to try and go for a bit of a shot right here. That's not happening. So I'm just going to go for, I think this is Mims. It looks like he's going to have the first. I'm going to use a timeout though. I mean, I thought he had the first down, but I guess we're a couple of inches short, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to go for a bit of a shorter route with Higgins. I need you to bring this in, bro. We barely got that off. Please get out of bounds. He's gonna get caught inbound, so I gotta call another timeout. I mean, I really don't want to kick a field goal here, but if I need to, I definitely will. I might have to throw this away again unless I can get out of bounds. I'm running way too much time here. I was not trying to run that much clock, man, so that kind of backfired on me. But I'm gonna go for a slant for one more big play, and hopefully I just gotta throw this away. Actually, I'm taking the field goal. I mean, I did not think that this game was gonna be this tight, but if we miss this, that is gonna be a pretty rough way to end off the season. But it looks like we are still alive, so we're headed to overtime, and the Cardinals started with the ball, and it is currently 3rd down. So if we can stop them here and get possession, we have a chance Carter's gonna come up with the big play. So thanks to the big stop from Abdul Carter, all we gotta do to win this game is kick a field goal, and that should basically put us in field goal range right there. I mean, I'm not taking the field goal yet. I'm gonna try and score a touchdown first, because if we somehow miss the field goal, that would be pretty humiliating. But oh, hold on, that's a big one right there. We're gonna have Higgins again wide open. So now we're 14 yards away from scoring a touchdown to end this game. I'm gonna put in the air one more time, which is definitely a little bit risky, but it looks like Higgins has got it, and he's gonna bring it all the way to the 3. So now I'm just gonna keep it on the ground with Henderson. Hopefully he can get in for the touchdown, but if not, I feel like a field goal from here is pretty much a gimme. He might be in with this play right here. That's gonna be a touchdown to end it. The Broncos are gonna walk it off for the Super Bowl. I mean, this game was obviously a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be, but we definitely ended it with the coolest way possible. I mean, a walk-off touchdown in the Super Bowl might be the best way to win it. So as you can see in year number 4, to end off the video, the Denver Broncos are finally gonna be hoisting a well-deserved Lombardi trophy. That's gonna do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd really help out the channel. And if you have any video ideas, feel free to drop them down below. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. And while you're down there, make sure you check out my socials. I got my Instagram and everything linked in my description. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.